Well, this year's Encounters South African International Documentary Festival is excited to announce the first international documentaries. The lineup has been chosen from the past year's most riveting documentary cinema, selected from the world's leading festivals, with subjects ranging from the state-sanctioned amnesia towards the crimes of the Franco regime, a young woman who has become a symbol of hope for her people, identical triplets separated at birth, and emphatic and insightful films featuring people from Mikhail, Gorbachev, as well as Ruth Ginsburg to Miles Davis. Well, for more on this, we are now joined on the line by the director of the Encounters Film Festival, Mandisa Ralane, via the telephone this evening. Very good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. Essentially, tell us in essence about this year's festival.
Thank you very much. Very good evening to you too. The Encounters is 21 years old this year, and we have programmed some of the best documentaries from South Africa and from around the world, capturing the essence of social, political, economical issues that are part of the consciousness of the global news at the moment.
Now, in terms of the criteria selection of the documentaries, one could imagine that different types of documentaries come in from all spheres of the world with different focuses. What is the documentary criteria selection based on?
So we look for any length of documentaries, and a lot of filmmakers submit their films, but we also keep our ear out for the most talked about globally, and the films that are winning awards or nominated for awards, or that people are writing about and expressing an opinion about. But we also look at our audiences and what would be suitable for a South African audience. So we don't have a strict criteria, but we do ensure that we have about 50% local content.
In terms of catering for essentially what the audience would hope for, take us through this year's lineup of the must-sees.
So, as always, our program is very varied, and we are not a thematic festival. So we have everything from politics, like meeting Gorbachev, and On Her Shoulder, which deals with human rights and the kidnapping of young girls and young women in the Yazidi area of northern Iraq, and this woman's rise to becoming the voice and ambassador for these injustices. So there's a lot of human rights films, but there's also films about culture. We've got Miles Davis' Birth of Cool, which is about the jazz icon. We've got a space theater of survival, which documents the history of the apartheid era theater. And we've got Fanon and many other films that deal with politics and ideologies that have dominated the African landscape.
Now, in terms of the scope and, of course, the content in which some of these documentaries bring forth, take us through the importance and the growth of this festival.
It's been challenging. It's had its highs and lows. It's not an easy task to sustain a festival like this for 21 years. But I think the key to our stability has been the partnerships we have locally and internationally, whereby we've been able to bring in films and guests through the different consulates and embassies that we partner with. We're also getting huge support from the National Film and Video Foundation. And I think there's an audience base, there's an interest, and there's engagement from the public. And that sustains us, and that gets us the numbers that we require to keep going. So it's really more like a community festival where a lot of people collaborate to ensure that it's successful.
Well, speaking of the public and the people, how does one get involved? How is one able to watch one of the documentaries?
Encounters is very unique because a lot of the films we have programmed, people really not have another chance to see them again, because we don't have a lot of platforms for screening documentaries. So I'd really encourage people to grab this opportunity, but they can visit encounters.co.za, because we're at different venues in both Johannesburg and Cape Town. And we also have satellite venues in Khayelitsha and in Mulberry in Cape Town.
We thank you very much for your time this evening. The director of the Encounters Film Festival, Mandisa Ralane.